Was his cloak black? Could you see his face? I never knew what he was going to do.
Nothing.
And his paths shall be many, and who shall know his name? For he shall be born among us many times, in many guises, as he has been and ever will be, time without end. His coming shall be like the sharp edge of the plow, turning our lives in furrows from out of the places where we lie in our silence. The breaker of bonds, the forger of chains, the maker of futures, the unshaper of destiny. You, not who I expected. Surprises for everyone, eh? Was his cloak black? Could you see his face? I never knew what he was going to do. A pale little man you didn't seem to really notice, even when you were looking at him. Who could do this to a Fade? He knows who I am. The Dark One knows my face. You! No!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a live stream for the Black Tower podcast, where you can find your three favorite tainty boys. Speaking of taint, there you go.
Cheers. Coming to you live with
How's
all
it
the
going?
taintiness that
So-
you could ever desire.
A little bit of wrist slap on my part. I had clicked go live earlier and never noticed that it actually went live. So
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
sitting there just chatting with people. I'm giving the boys the countdown because they can't see the OBS screen, and I'm like, yeah, the intro waiting screen is like whatever. And then it was like 30 seconds into that trailer when they were like, yeah, I don't even see the countdown or anything. It just says waiting on Black Tower, and I'm like, fuck. We're past the
So-
first 10 seconds, right? We won't get demonetized. Yeah, I think we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
Not
No,
that
we're
we
good.
monetize any of this anyway.
I was about to say, we're not going to get demonetized because you can't be demonetized if you've never been monetized in the first place. Simple truths, my friend.
Indeed.
The cool thing is that trailer, some of you may know, some of you may have recognized that, some of you may have seen that before. Super awesome. Thank you so much for allowing us to use that. Senor, is it Gallifreyan trailers? Is that who it was?
Yep.
Dude, you're
Stevestream.
awesome. You're awesome.
Link to
I
the
wanna-
trailer is in the description below.
Yeah, go to their channel, give them a follow, give them a like.
Also, while you're down there, there's a thumbs up and a bell and a subscribe button and all of that different stuff, which if you're not already, you could totally do that. Like, I'm not going to tell you to smash it because that's just rude to bells and stuff. But, press it if you want to, because, like, pressing it doesn't take that much
Press
effort
it-
and isn't going to
press
hurt
it
anybody.
Gently. Press it
Yeah.
gently. Love it. Caress it. Hold it and make it your own.
Fuck it gently. Kiss it sweetly.
Tenacious D! I love it. So, no, that actually is the perfect segue into topic number one
We
of
have
our
topics
most
today?
amazing
Oh,
of to- Oh, we have topics, Daniel. Okay? Maybe if you'd read your emails every once in a while.
He was busy adventuring and saving the Sword Coast or whatever
or
realm
your
you're D&Ding in.
Your gateway memos.
Are you gonna actually talk about the topic, or are you just gonna give me shit off?
I'm
it?
I'm gonna
Gosh.
spend the rest of the 2 hours giving you shit.
We're on for 2 hours.
I put an
No,
hour and a half
we're
and thought that I was being extra generous.
Yeah, well,
Jeez.
now we're giving Daniel shit, so it takes extra care, concern.
I mean, honestly, the podcast would probably be only like 20 minutes if there wasn't us giving shit to each other.
You're not wrong.
See? I'm
Well,
just keeping with the program.
at least half of that is us correcting each other because we get shit wrong all the time,
Mm.
namely myself.
Andrew,
but-
I don't think that's correct. I think it's not correct that we actually get stuff wrong very often.
I couldn't even
So,
figure out how to
topic.
add something to a calendar today, so IT support.
Yeah. So topic number one is Steve How many of you have heard of hashtag Stevegate? Hashtag who the heck is Steve? Hashtag what is a Steve? Have you? I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen the memes going around. If you haven't, oh my God, they are
Hashtag Steve of
amazing.
Steve.
Steve of Steve, Steve of Time,
Stevesworn.
Time of Steve, Stevesworn. That's a good one in there.
The fandom name made it like what,
The
like a week and a
Steve
half?
Tower.
The Steve Tower podcast.
What did it? Dragonsworn made it like a week and a half, 2 weeks before it got turned into a meme.
Right, that's true.
Pretty good.
That is a valid fact.
I mean,
No.
in 2020, that is one of the highest of compliments.
Oh yeah,
The fact that it even lasted a week is
That's,
almost like that shows some real commitment
I think
by Wheel of Time fans to actually make it what it was intended to be, because they didn't meme it literally 5 minutes after it got announced.
And I think the big thing was, well, and I think the thing was, we need a good laugh. Things
No, it's true.
are just crazy, and things are terrible. And we don't mean to make light of those things. No, those things are serious, absolutely. And we personally want you guys to know we do take those things seriously. However, if you spend all day, every day, looking at the bad news and looking at how things are shitty, that's all you're ever going to see. That's all you're ever going to feel. So we're here to bring the happiness, to bring a smile, so that your mental health is good and that you can have a little bit of relief, and then you can go back to the fight. Because if there's one thing we Ashaman know how to do, it's fight. And fight for justice, and fight for awesomeness, and defend all those who need defending. Yes. That's like one of our missives, right? The Lord Dragon left that to us. But I got off topic. I digress. Steve.
So do we want to do any kind of spoiler?
Guys, in the immortal words of one of the greatest uncles in history, if you look for the light, you can often find it. But if you look for the dark, that is all you will ever see.
So guys, just to keep everybody safe, not to cut Josh off, even though that's exactly what I just did. Apologies. You can spank me with air later. Don't you look at that, Daniel. You're welcome to join too. Come on.
Well, I was offended for a second.
No, dude, you're welcome. Dude, the Black Tower stands united. We're all in this together.
We're all in this.
The Black Tower handshake is just touching taints. That's all it is. But anyway, so everybody is protected, and we get this out of the way kind of early on.
Scissoring?
What? Like reverse scissoring. Wrong end. Instead of the recreation facility, it's the waste management plant. That's a Bicentennial Man joke.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah.
I appreciated that reference.
But speaking of tainty things, just in case, your spoiler warning is... we don't know. Because it just depends on where the discussion about Steve and just what we talk about goes. So, to be safe...
I think actually this could be spoiler free. I think
you think we can do it?
Yeah, I think we can do this.
Let's take a page out of...
remember to put your spoiler warning before what you say, rather than needing to do it at the beginning.
Yeah.
There you go.
Or we can take a page out of Nablus' book and do, what does he call it? A spoiler level or spoiler warning yellow? Something like that.
Okay.
Where there may be spoilers, but if there are, they're going to be
like
minor.
Spoiler warning green.
Green.
Or like, again,
5.
It's spoilers, because there wouldn't be a spoiler warning at all if there was no spoilers. It'd be like spoiler level white. But at the same time, like, it's the lowest level I can think of.
Yeah, let's go with that. There's potential. There's an increased potential for spoilers. Though
if
they won't be groundbreaking.
If spoiler levels were a hot sauce, this would be ketchup.
I'm ashamed that you just used the phrase hot sauce and ketchup in the same sentence. I was thinking like Tabasco, but...
That's right. So, basically what happened was there was an article written and published and circulated where they announced 6 new cast members. Or was it 6? I think it was 6 new cast members. And here's the really tragic part. There were some really cool casting announcements there. I even went to try and look for the link so I knew who was casted.
What was the
And I
name
can't
of the
find it.
page? The link or whatever.
That's what I was actually looking for, and I can't
It's
find
like
it. So
something
I'm
intelligence.
I'm a bit ashamed at the moment.
They
My
need some
eyes are
people
lower.
with
Guys, we did no
intelligence
prep
on
at
this
all.
sort of mission quest thing.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, here we go. It is by Red. Wait, hold on.
Spell it out for me so I can type it.
Redanian Intelligence. Okay, REDANIANINTELLIGENCE.com. I'm going to put the link in the live chat right now so you guys can see it.
Sweet.
Bonk.
Click on it.
Headski, to answer your question, the calendar, if you're in our Discord and you go to news and events, you'll see a channel called the Watt Calendar.
Yes.
That's something where content creators, all from whatever platform, Twitter, artists, songwriters, whatever Watt content creator you are, you have access. If you've gotten with DT in the Discord, they have called the Watt Calendar Discord, I believe.
Yes.
Or Watt Fandom Calendar. And
Little ditty.
you can add stuff to it that are just coming up.
Time.
So
Just a little calendar letting people know what's going on.
there was
Did you post the
that
link?
was I did. I posted the link in the live chat.
All right, I'm gonna close the pop
So-
out because I think mine's broken.
Kira Chansa was cast as the role of young Swan Sanche. So that kind of confirms that we're going to get some a little bit of new spring action, I believe. That's my guess. There was Darren Clark.
Actually, I think that they were just really worried about like not being diverse enough, so they made sure to cast a child as Swan. She's actually just gonna be what we have through the whole thing.
That's
because
the
she
ageless face. She's
Yeah.
actually 200 years old.
Yeah.
I think there was an
I
episode
her
of Highlander
chances.
like that.
It seems like one of those roles that you can just kind of slough off to a child, and if they don't do great, that'll still be okay. Because like Swan is hardly in the like story at all. She's not.
Yes.
She's not a big
I
part.
mean, it's not like she's a pivotal character.
Yeah, not even a little.
So then there was Darren Clark, who was cast as Basil Gill, which super cool. And again, that's not a spoiler because
Bazilgil.
Basil Gill is introduced pretty early on. There is Izuka Hoyle, who was cast as the part of Dina. Now, I'm not going to go into Dina's character, but because that's a spoiler. But oh my God, what a scene. And there's a character who interacts very intimately with Dina. And that's a terrifying scene to see that character in. And just, it's great. And it's awesome. And then Jennifer Preston was cast as Mrs. Grinwell, which is a very minor character, but still exciting to see. And Jennifer Preston was in... she was in Sabrina, wasn't she? I think she was in Sabrina, the TV show on Netflix. I'd have
I
to look
wouldn't
it
be
up.
able to tell you.
And then this is the moment that captured everyone's attention. Mr. Phil Snowden was cast as the role of Steve. Huh? There are some who call him Steve.
Mhm.
And that's
I
it.
am the all-powerful wizard. My name is Tim.
No,
You
Steve.
can call me Tim.
You fucked it up, dude. It's Steve.
No, not in Monty Python, which is what I was quoting, you absolute bastard.
I was thinking of the monkey from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. Steve.
The monkey was classic. I love the monkey.
Mm.
So Mr. Snowden has played in such remarkable shows and or productions as Les Miserables, as
Indeed.
Customer One, big part there. He was also in the BBC TV series The Three Musketeers, which is also, I love that show. I love that show, and I'm sad that I can't see it anymore. But he was one of the again, one of the big parts of Villager. So obviously, he was also in the movie Rocket Man as
Yep.
Dancer. Okay, I think we all know what that means.
Closer, Tony Danza.
Was he the Tiny Dancer / Tony Danza? Was he?
Probably not.
We will never know.
I mean, somebody could watch Rocket Man, and then we'd know.
I mean, the guy's been in a good handful of
sure.
stuff, at least going back to 07.
He's a pretty well seasoned guy. Like, he's not, you know. And of course, my mind blanks when I try to think of people who have been in the acting gig for 30 plus years.
Seasoned,
like Brad Pitt, or like Keanu Reeves, or like Christopher Walken, or
none of those guys. He is none of those guys.
Okay. I mean, the thing is, like,
Jackson, Morgan Freeman, De Niro, you just couldn't pull a single one of those out of just like long time.
Well, actually, what I was going for was something like Bela Lugosi, like been around for a long time, but I couldn't do it. My brain taint. I blame the taint.
Yeah. You got it eventually. You pulled out Bela Lugosi, which is not a bad.
It's exciting, right? Because whenever Rafe was first in communication with Twitter Tom, not that he's not anymore. I mean, he obviously still engages. He was talking about
very busy though.
How
it was a very different engagement when like Rafe was doing it totally on his own before they actually had like a PR department for Wheel of Time on Twitter.
Yeah.
And now it's just a different type of interaction that he has, even though it's still
right.
But as I was saying, he made the comment that they don't want to go with all A-list actors. They don't want to pull in the faces that everybody knows. They want to pull in the, quote unquote, undiscovered talent, or the people of lesser renown just by virtue of how their career has gone or hasn't gone, whatever the case. I mean, it's easy for us to take and look at castings like Rosamund Pike, Daniel Henney, Alvaro. I know I'm saying his name wrong. Alvaro Morte. Alvaro Morte. The guy that played Roose Bolton, because I can never remember his actual name. Those kind of guys or people. Yeah. I mean, those are known faces. I mean, obviously, the
McElton, Michael McElton.
I don't know. I'm looking it up right now.
There's a Mick in his name somewhere, but I mean, the guy is already.
He's just a Mick.
You know who he is because you've watched. You know who he is because you've watched Game of Thrones. So
Michael McElhatton.
Yeah.
McElhatton.
Michael McElhatton.
McElhatton. He'll fit right in with nobody knowing how to pronounce his name.
Yeah. I mean, so you have him, and everybody knows him from Game of Thrones.
And Michael McElhatton are just playing the two characters where they're like, all right,
welcome,
you're Rand
sir.
and Tam, two super easy to pronounce names. But your actual actor names are
actual actor names. Yeah, no, that's good.
So you have that. I mean, and obviously, you know Rosamund Pike from all the stuff she's been in. I know her obviously foremost in my mind is Miranda Frost from 007 Die Another Day with the wonderful Pierce Brosnan in it. But, if you were to ask me before all this casting came out, hey, you ever heard of this guy, Joshua Stradowski or Marcus Rutherford or, anybody else pretty much in the cast, I would have been like, I have no idea.
Yeah, and now we have Steve. I would say that of the Emmons Field 5, the most famous is definitely Zoe because she was in Dora.
Which I love.
Was she the Power Ranger? Not in Dora, obviously.
No, sorry, Zoe was the Power Ranger, and Egwene.
Zoe was the Power Ranger, and it's Madeline. Madeline was Dora.
Madeline was in Dora. My bad. Yes.
Which I think is funny because Dora, that was originally like a spoof trailer, and everybody loved it so much they were like, "Hey, why not? Let's make a movie."
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Someday we'll actually get David Kahn's Power Rangers, and that'll be fantastic.
Power Rangers for the win. I'm all in for. I love Power Rangers.
Like
I'm
the
saying it.
new, like the modern movie was a step in the right direction. It was nice, like because it made it less hokey and whatnot. But at the same time, it was still also like, hey, fan service. But you know
Yeah.
what's not fan service? You know what doesn't feel like fan service? That
What doesn't
trailer
feel like fan
with
service?
freaking James Vanderbeek and Starbuck. So good, absolutely fantastic.
So, what has that got to do with the Wheel of Time? Absolutely nothing. But it was
No,
a
that
fun
has
tangent.
everything to do with the Wheel of Time.
And Steve, so we've got a whole bunch of guesses on who Steve is and what Steve is. I personally don't think we're going to see Steve in season 1. So there goes Balsamon. There goes, I
You
mean,
mean
I don't,
Steve Zaman?
Steve Zaman. We will not see Steve Zaman.
Steve Dolman.
There's the popular theory is that he is going to be another Bard and or Glee Man in probably going to be taking place in season 2. And I don't know. I don't know. I think based on what we've seen and based on what we know about the series and the stories and things like that, I think he's going to be like some of these other castings. I think he's going to be a bit more of a minor character. I don't think he's going to be one of the bigger central to the plot characters.
Yeah, like Rayon or Rayan or Raen, however you pronounce his name, the Tinker that first welcomes. So spoilers for book 1, at the beginning here, but the Tinker that welcomes Elias and Perrin and Egwene into their camp where we first meet Aurum.
You have the song.
No, nobody has the fucking song, and nobody ever will. But do you know
the
what's
song
cool
like
about
the
that?
cake is a lie?
I will flip this table. I follow the way of belief, and I will flip this table.
You guys tell us your theories and love for Steve, and then we have we do have a requirement to briefly cover a subject involving the Tinkers. I'm just saying.
That
So
we
what
do.
do you guys think about Steve?
Pronounce it Rayan. I like that, Malkier. Which, if you guys
we're
haven't
gonna
already,
find out that we've been pronouncing it wrong when the TV show comes out. So I don't think any of our pronunciations actually matter because it's Lon and Lena.
Yeah, but we're gonna take a quick second for shout out time.
It's shout out time.
It's shout out time, and just because of just how engaging you've been with us, I mean, I could see Daniel maybe not seeing today because he was busy, doing other things and exploring adventures and rolling d20s, and
he was
hopefully
chucking
crit successing
them dice.
Because you don't DM, do you, Daniel? You play like you're.
What?
Do you DM?
Do you DM?
I don't. Not in this campaign.
Okay.
Do you or do you not
Right.
DM?
The answer is yes, I do in general.
I want the truth.
Not in this campaign.
So,
Sorry,
yeah.
Listening with earbuds.
So you were quite busy today, but something that Malkier Talks is I've noticed over the past several days has done is made it a point, whether it just happens to come up on his feed on Twitter or not, is to show some extra love our way. So you guys make sure that you go and show some love to Malkier Talks channel here on YouTube. Make some dope ass food, and there's some dope ass food in the future coming.
Yes, and that's what I was just about to say is that Malkier Talks is doing his own Wheel of Time cooking show. He's already done sweet and sour pork, and he did meat pies the other day, and those looked really good. And I'm kind of sad that he lived. Oh, the Tinker food. Right? What is it, like beetroots and like vegetable stew? Get on it, sir.
Yeah. But the next one is
cakes, and those looked delicious.
Oh yeah. I'm fucking hungry.
Yeah.
But so the next one, if you guys haven't already heard of them, Fantology Podcast. They do some really fun brackets. And your boys in black here, the three of us, we just won one for a list of the top three villains in pure fantasy, not including sci-fi. So
That's just it. Yeah, we went pure fantasy.
So we won with Dolores Umbridge, the White or Winter Witch from Narnia, and Padan Fane, obviously from The Wheel of Time. And somehow I think...
Three people you just love to hate.
Oh, yeah. And it looked like we squeaked out the win at the end, because the last tweet I saw, we were 0.8% behind. And we squeaked out the
right
win.
Down to the wire.
It was by the sweat of our taints that we won. So good game.
It was by the sweat of your taints.
Yeah, you guys did it. It wasn't us. I mean, we can only vote once on each fake account we have. So
on each of our accounts.
yeah, so we get a total of 4 votes, and that's about as far as we go. And half the time, if I don't read carefully enough, I accidentally vote for the wrong thing. I did it before. Like when we were choosing the fandom name, I would vote for the wrong thing because it didn't take the vote. Yeah, but and good game to everybody else that participated and everything. There were some great suggestions. Dolores Umbridge was an obvious popular decision amongst many.
It's true. She's a Reese, man. She's so bad.
Absolute dog shit, pink trash.
Agreed.
Just irredeemable. Just utterly irredeemable.
I don't know what annoyed people more, like her tactics for disciplining kids or that fucking go screw yourself. Like that's the definition of like a sociopathic crazy cat lady.
Oh yeah.
No, I would say that calling her a sociopathic crazy cat lady is an insult to sociopathic crazy cat ladies.
I mean, yeah, it's not fair to compare her to anybody, but if I had to give a label to something that there is no label existing for, sociopathic crazy cat lady is where I go.
I mean, okay, I see you. I feel you. I know where you're at with that, and I agree. But no, Fantology, they're a great podcast as well. They do, they cover the broad spectrum, basically all of fantasy, and they like to just skim the surface. Sometimes they'll delve a little bit deeper, but they've dabbled in the realms of the wheels of times.
Well, and of course,
they
again,
also
they're making it through their like book reviews, and I think they've now done the first 3.
Yeah, they've done a few of the wheel. That's what I'm saying. They're dipping their toes in the Wheel of Time, then they're moving on to other fantasy series and whatnot. So they're a good bunch of guys as well. We've enjoyed talking to them and hanging out with them. As a matter of fact, we had them on the show at one point in time as well.
Correct.
Yep. So you've heard them before, so go and listen to them again. Because as much as you might
podcast before, in which case, do we have a treat for you?
There's like 90 something episodes, maybe 91 up on Podbean for you to go and catch up on.
Every single one of those 91 episodes.
For free, minus the cost for your internet and whatever you're using to listen to them on. Just saying. We're all stuck at home, and it looks like all the quarantines are coming back, so
yeah,
might as well.
Shit.
So, but here's the thing, though. For topic number 1, Steve, Andrew,
Yo,
Steve, what are your thoughts on Steve?
I do as the Steve commands. I should be wearing my Rick and Morty shirt for that one. You know, I do as the Crystal commands. No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah, sorry, I watch good television, which doesn't include that show.
All right, guys, would like you all to say goodbye to Daniel. It's been fun having him on the podcast, but he has decided to retire. No, but
I'll make my own podcast with blackjack and hookers, so
be far more successful. But I do agree that it is definitely a code name. We saw it before with the way a lot of the other members have been cast and announced, and we hear somebody announced in this name. We know that there are sections where Rafe and the writers' room and the whole production team take it to heart to take and keep things secret. You know, calling it Project
Right.
W.
Right.
People that don't know Wheel of Time and aren't expecting that kind of stuff may not pick it up until they see it on Twitter of Time or whatever other medium that's figured it out. I think Facebook might have figured it out like 3 days ago. Don't know. It's a little bit of shade. A little bit.
That is a little bit of shade.
Facebook, stop being so salty.
It's deserved.
Just embrace the taint and come on, just enjoy the Wheel of Time.
Just enjoy it.
But I'm also not on Facebook, so I can go off if it's hearsay, so I could be completely wrong. I don't know why I keep like stroking my beard. It's a maniacal thought.
It's such a
It's addicting. It's addicting, right? Like whenever you finally start growing, like you just do it. And then you see like you pull out one beard hair that like was just loose and fell out and you're like, it's thinning. No.
Daniel,
Beard brand, save me.
what do you think about Steve?
So again, I said this before we started, and I'm so over Steve. I mean, again, I get the purpose, and I'm absolutely on board for it being a code name and for this actually being Bale Doman or Gareth Bryn or somebody else who's just an important character that they don't want to give away right now. And I'm all for that. I'm down. And again, absolutely way more power to this guy. Who's been cast as whatever role it has that he's been cast. That'd be great. I think he's gonna do great in whatever he's doing because they have shown that we're or that Wheel of Time on Prime is doing a good job with casting and whatnot, and they have it as an importance. That being said, Stevestream, Stevesworn, The Gathering Steve, the Steve Tower podcast. The amount that I am over the Steve being put in everything is so high that when they finally, can you just announce who he is at this point? Because I'm so over the Steve BS.
Well, it's an elaborate tactic, right? Can we annoy Rafe?
He is Ishamael. Then freaking
right now.
It's can we annoy Rafe and Amazon enough for them to just like he's playing this fucking character. Just stop, leave it alone.
I'd be okay with that.
Like even the news site.
And sorry, let me stop for just a second. If you're having fun with Steve, please have fun with Steve. I'm not actually telling you to stop. I could not be on Twitter for the duration of Stevegate. But I personally am so over Steve.
Yeah, what I loved was seeing the tweets from Redandian Intelligence, where they apparently went to sleep, woke up the next morning, and saw that Stevegate was a thing, and they were just like, "What?
What's happening?"
And the best part about it is there is no rhyme or reason behind it because this didn't happen with any other code name for anybody else cast. It's literally because they chose the name Steve, I think. So it's just so glorious. I love it because I'm a trashy meme lover.
It's fun though. That's the big thing. Is it's just fun.
It's bringing the community together to at least to some degree because everybody is getting in on the Steve. Well, not everybody, obviously.
So
fucking sourpuss.
It looks like we've got Daniel is so Steved about this. Some of our comments are great. Let's see. We've got a lot of people that agree that Steve is a code word. So I think realistically speaking, a lot of people agree with that. I mean, because that's kind of the only obvious choice. But like I said, it's the fun, right? It's the fun.
But at the same time, I mean, like the other thing that would be absolutely fantastic, the one thing that would literally just turn all of this around for me, and I would just be so down with Steve, is just if his name is actually just Steve in the show. If we get the show in season 1 and all of a sudden there is a character that they've either written in or have combined a couple of characters as, if Rand is running around with his 2 friends, oh wait, I'm sorry, we didn't have time for his 2 friends, so they just roll Matt and Perrin into one character named Steve. I would hate the show, but love the just ridiculousness.
Well, when you talk about killing the Steve, there is something that did that for me, at least. Like the moment I knew that Steve Gate was a thing of the past is when I saw a very special interaction by the man, Mr. Daryl McCormick. Did you guys see this?
Yep.
Yes, I do.
How about our watchers? Did you guys see this?
Had to
They
have.
can't answer you in a super timely manner. There's a delay, and they can't type that fast.
Well, I'm gonna go there.
Yeah, they might be able to
anyway.
type
I
that
don't
fast,
care.
but
Maybe. No, but Daryl McCormick he popped into Twitter. He was like, hold up. Hey guys. Like that was Daryl McCormick. He just popped in, only he dropped a bomb. He was like, hey,
Living my best tinker life here, guys.
yeah.
that's Tinker Life. That's right. Someone said, I think Daryl is
Aram.
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 And then he was like, posting emojis, and they're like, it's okay, I know you're dying to tell us. And I have to go back and look.
Well, it was kind of obvious because the emoji he posted after, because this was in comments. This wasn't like a main post or something like that.
Right.
It was somebody saying like, "Hey, just tell us already who you are," and he was just like,
and
"I'm living my
looking
best
right
tinker
now
life."
to see who it was because I want to
Yeah.
give proper credit.
But the emoji he posted was the emoji of a person and then a sword after my best tinker life. So either he knows enough about the series to troll us, or it's Aram. Aram.
And that was my big takeaway.
A boy. I mean,
Can you
I'm looking for
imagine? I need Keegan Michael Key and Jordan Peele to come back to do the sketch about the substitute teacher getting all of the kids' names wrong, but with Wheel of Time characters.
bro.
yeah.
That just writes itself.
I mean, because it was
Right?
what 6 days ago now or so that he tweeted out that he, I'm happy to play a part in this epic magic or this magical epic world at Watt on Prime with a picture of him holding one of the Wheel of Time scripts.
Yep.
Right. No, so he's already on the thing is we just don't know who he's playing. It's not been confirmed outside
Mhm.
of this particular interaction.
Part of me hopes it's a troll. That he's not Aram, that he's playing someone else, and we just get the hilarity of the troll of just living my best tinker life, and then he comes out like, no, I never said I was a tinker. I'm just a peaceful person.
You know what would actually be absolutely
It was-
amazing to me?
It was
He's totally just a completely unnamed tinker, and he was just like, gotcha.
he's an
And so
extra.
he is being honest that he's being a tinker, but then also like not about Aram.
Yeah.
By the way, he is forever Aram to me.
I could see it. I could stand. No, I can't stand it. I have to Steve it.
You have to Steve it. That's how it is. You have to Steve it. That's how this works. But it was
If Daniel's not crying within the
Moradin-
next 5 minutes for not doing her job.
Moradin's Medan at Moradin's Medan. So at MORIDINSMEDAN. That's who the interaction was with. That's who Daryl responded to in the thing. So if you're gonna look for that, look for that.
Hey Daniel, that little hair curl was actually pretty dope. Like it fit like perfectly over your hands. It was almost like
my Jerry
Halloween
Curl, that is
eyeless.
completely and utterly unintentional.
It's like Superman from the 80s.
Yeah.
You have the little
My hair does the same thing if it gets too long. It like curls over here and it's annoying as fuck.
That one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, hang on.
You gotta have like the one curl that disguises you. Put on the glasses.
Do you have glasses, Daniel? Yes, you do. I know you do.
Now I'm just
So-
Mikasa. Like, what is this?
I don't know.
The
Like a budget lightning scar for Harry Potter.
right.
It's not to
like it.
insult how your hair looks. It's insulting
No,
to what it would be as the
No,
prop I
but
described.
you don't
it
need
as.
to insult the way my hair looks. I do that constantly, so we're all good. It feels amazing. I have some of the softest hair I've ever felt on anyone ever, but it looks like idiocy.
Fun random note. Nikola Tesla, the actual guy, could not stand the touch or the feel of human hair, and that's largely why he remained single.
All
Now you
right.
know. So
It's also
topic
why
number
he didn't
2.
invent the light bulb, because he didn't ever try the thing where he pulled out the guy's beard hair and stuck it in as a film.
No, he didn't. He had nothing to do with the light bulb. That wasn't him.
Have you heard that story?
No.
That they had failed like 100 different times or so
It
trying to go ahead and figure out the filament to the light bulb. So they
it
were all
sounds
sitting around, and somebody was like, wait a second, and reached across the table and pulled out some beard hair from a guy who had a magnificent beard, and then tried that as a filament, and it just ended up smelling horrible.
This sounds like a
I
whole lot of
mean,
bad decisions.
I now that you say that, I think that sounds familiar, but yeah. Sounds like one of those Edison legends that are bullshit.
All right, Edison hater.
So, random number topic dose. The Dragonsworn giveaway. Now, we've covered this a bit, right? We have discussed, people know that there was a bracket, they know there was a championship, they know there was a vote, and they know that hashtag Dragonsworn is what won.
And
What they
now he
may
has a bouncing baby Brett. We know. I know. You know. I know. I get it. I know.
I get it. Dude, that is a great movie. But what people may not realize is that there's a giveaway associated with hashtag Dragonsworn. Andrew, do you want to give them the deets on that?
Oh boy.
Perhaps?
So many details. So, Josh took, and not too long ago, within the past week, I can't remember the exact day, he put out a video on Twitter showing off the prize for the hashtag Dragonsworn giveaway. And the prize is a first edition, first print, hardcover copy of Fires of Heaven. My favorite book. There was a lot of restraint on my part involved, and not just saying, no, let me buy that one from the guy, and he's got more. Let's see if he'll do a different one. Not to toot my own horn or anything, but that is the prize. It is a first edition, first print of Fires of Heaven. Obviously from the Wheel of Time series. There it is. Josh has got it on camera right there for you to see. Because, oh yeah, and there's also going to be one of our fantastic Black Tower pins thrown in with that, and Josh has teased that he may or may not have some other dope swag, gifts of some kind of nature, probably Black Tower, but who knows what they may be, that'll go along with it. So you're not just getting the book, you're going to get some other swag, some other cool stuff coming with it. So now your question is, well, how do I enter? Well, the easiest way, go on Twitter. And I believe we're doing Instagram as well.
Correct.
And use hashtag Dragonsworn. And every time you do that, every singular instance of using the hashtag Dragonsworn, you get an entry in the giveaway. But there's a little more to it. There's things you can do to hedge your bets, to hedge your entries, to get more entries. And Daniel, I want to give you the chance. What else can they do to get extra entries besides just tweeting a bunch of times?
So, if you actually go on to our Spreadshirt account, you can actually pick up any of that swag that we were talking about, as far as t-shirts, mugs, accessories, fun phone cases, things like that. They have a bunch of different stuff. Buttons, yes, they have a bunch of different stuff on there that has a number of different logos. At this point, I want to say we have like 5 different ones. And the 4 that are not the hashtag Dragonsworn, Actually, I don't think it has the hashtag on it. It's just Dragonsworn, right?
Correct.
Oh yeah, no. The design, the logo that we have loaded on our spreadshirt just says Dragonsworn.
Okay, so if you pick up any of the other ones, either the hashtag Embrace the Taint, or the Black Tower logo, or the Black Tower chibis, or anything like that, we will give you not one entry, but 3 entries into the giveaway if you post a photo or a screenshot or anything along those lines of you receiving the stuff if you get it shipped to you very quickly, the receipt of the order, anything along those lines that just kind of helps prove that you did it, if you will. And then if you want to hedge your bets the most, and also you want to rep Dragonsworn, then that design, anything that's happening with that design on it, whether again it be a mug or a t-shirt or an accessory or anything, if you get the Dragonsworn logo, you get 5 entries into the giveaway.
You get a band of the red hand worth of entries.
Oh,
in terms of the
speaking
symbol.
which, I actually also in this this thing, I want to shout out. Also, if you are looking for swag, I don't want to deter you at all from getting any of our stuff because our stuff is super fun, and you get to rep being a Dragonsworn, which I don't think anybody else. And again, not to toot our own horn or anything, but I don't think anybody else has put anything up with Dragonsworn yet. Sure, it will happen, but I don't think it's happened yet. But if you hop
I think
over,
we got that one cornered.
To Tarvalon Tees, you can find some really fun stuff.
True.
Like, it's time to get the band back together.
There you go.
And we actually were very, very, very honored to get a discount that is sort of associated with us from them. I believe you get 15. Was it 10 or 15%?
15%.
5.
Your order, if you use the code Black Tower.
TWR. Black
Yes.
TWR.
Yes. Black TWR. Not like tower fully spelled out, but it is one word, black, like my soul, and then TWR.
Yeah.
That's true.
Now, with that, guys, obviously your receipt doesn't have to include like your address or anything like that.
Right,
Keep your personal information out of it. Just something showing. Because the thing is, if it's coming from the spreadshirt that we have that helps support what we do here at the podcasting, which ultimately translates to more stuff we can come out and do as far as events. It helps with planning future events, us attending future events, doing more giveaways like this dope book. This one was a pretty lucky thing for a pretty dope, awesome, fantastic, long lost brother apparently of Josh's. It just worked out very well. But we want to do this kind of stuff. We want to do giveaways and stuff. And that does require at some point capital, which we're willing to invest, of course, what we can because we love this and we love you guys. But doing this kind of stuff that also gives you a higher chance of getting a reward for what you're helping us out with and what you're helping, dare I say, the fandom out with, because who doesn't love engagement and free shit? We can do more of it. So get out there. Hashtag.
This is not, I do want to take just a second to say out loud. Again, this is entirely for you guys. This is entirely for the podcast. We don't want you guys to, or we don't want to encourage you to go ahead and buy our merch so that we can line our pockets or anything like that. We're not those people, just for starters, and you're not that fandom. So we respect you guys, and we hope
not those people.
Us enough to know that we actually really want to do this, and any proceeds from merch or anything like that is going to go back into making the podcast as dope as possible.
This is true.
And if you're
100%,
this because we love you.
And if you're looking at it and you're like, look, okay, the shirts are dope, the beanies are dope, but it's the middle of summer. I can't really, I got enough shirts. I don't need more. Guess what else there is? There are Dragonsworn face masks. I've got one in the mail right now.
And this is very important for right now. Very popular, very hot item right now. Cover your face with some Dragonsworn swag.
You can do that, and you can let Dragonsworn be an extra layer to help protect you from the particulates in the air. Of course, they're not what is it, N95, the medically rated mask,
Yeah.
but
Right.
still. And once I get mine, I will make sure that I post a picture of it, not for the giveaway because we're automatically excluded from it. We can't be counted in the giveaway because that's just
right.
not fair. But I'll post a picture with it so you can see how ridiculous it looks to have a beard like mine, like Josh's, and like Daniel's probably eventually will be. How ridiculous it looks because it'll stop like right about here, and then you got like hair hanging down. And it's like, where does your chin end? It's a mystery.
But what you got to do is you got to like make that like bun out of your beard
Ooh.
hair and then tuck it into the mask. Like when you wear a hat as a girl and you have a lot of hair, like you
So
gotta
just
do
do it like
that
that?
like twisty thing and get
do
it
it.
all like right on the back of your head and then just tuck it right in.
Just do it like that. Fan it out so it's an extra layer in front of my mouth.
Perfect. Yeah, no, you won't breathe in anything
I feel like
except
an
for
old Disney character that just has like hair all over his mouth. Cousin It. There we go. We'll go with. He's not a Disney character, but
That hurts. I don't like that.
I think you have sensitivity issues.
Maybe.
Eh.
Maybe I just don't like to be bound. Maybe I like to just be wild and free. So that's Dragonsworn. So for each hashtag Dragonsworn post you make is an entry into winning this amazing book
Yep.
and grab
For s-
bag of prizes.
for swag like mine and Josh's, who's got that dope tie dye going on, and you can do that. You can. I wouldn't recommend putting Andrew on it, but you can do this. You can customize all of your stuff, and put like names and words and stuff or whatever you want on it. For the most part, that gets you 3. Black Tower swag gets you 3 additional entries because we are the ones doing the giveaway, and then dope swag.
Dragonsworn gets you 5.
Yeah, I could show
And
the
then,
picture of my order, but I don't
again,
really.
no
I'm lazy.
purchase necessary if you just want to tweet about Dragonsworn,
Mm-hmm.
and especially, again, this is not a requirement for the giveaway, but if you want to tweet a bunch of stuff about hashtag Dragonsworn at Tower Podcast, hashtag Tower Podcast, whatever you want to go ahead and throw in there, we certainly won't turn you down and would really appreciate the mention and whatnot in there. As I said, it is not a requirement. The only requirement is that you do hashtag Dragonsworn on your tweets or Instagram posts. Also, again, I will throw out there, guys. I know that the episode has only been up for a day, so to me it feels like I said this a number of days ago. But for most of you, I actually only said it yesterday, or maybe today, depending on when you got a chance to listen to the episode. But
or tomorrow if they listen to it tomorrow.
Dragonsword is utterly lame on Instagram. It's completely other stuff. There is, I think there are 2 hashtag Dragonsworns that are Wheel of Time related, and all of the other ones are Dragonsworn Cosmetics, a different fantasy series that has dragons in it. Like, none of it is Wheel of Time. As I said, I think there are 2 posts.
We got to take it back. It's ours.
Yes, it's our word.
And if you go the merch route and you get some of that stuff, make sure that you do still include the hashtag Dragonsworn, because that's what we're going to look for. We're going to be looking for the hashtag Dragonsworn.
Yep.
In terms of when we go to look for everything on Twitter to count it, which is, oh God, I don't even want to think about how long it's going to take.
Guys, please, if you can do us a favor and mention us in the tweet, that will also make it easier for us to track it. But again, the only requirement is putting the hashtag Dragonsworn because we can look that up.
I will find you. If you hashtag Dragonsworn, I will find you.
But
I will mail you a grab bag of fun.
Yeah, but Josh Malk here talks just asked the quintessential question.
The question of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. When does this competition end? Well, first off, let me tell you when the competition started. Okay? It started the day that the final poll ended. Okay? So I'm going to go back to the Watt Fandom Championship bracket, and the day that the final poll ended and we were established as Dragonsworn, that is when the competition begins. Now, when will it end? God, that's a really tough question. What do you guys think?
I'm thinking a week.
we stop taking entries next Friday, 1 week from today. So we're going to go today,
That's 6 days.
tomorrow. Well, I'm saying we're going to go all the way through
Oh,
Friday.
so through Friday. So we'll start counting
So, yeah.
on a week from
July
today. All right.
3rd at midnight, the night of July 3rd, you will send out your hashtag Dragonsworn, and that is when we will end it. July 3rd at midnight. After that, we will have to take a couple days, obviously, to tally up totals and then make a final selection. But you have this week until next Friday at midnight to get your Dragonsworn entries in.
And just to make 100% sure, because this is often a confusion with things like films and whatnot, when you're talking about midnight on Friday, are you talking about midnight Thursday into Friday or midnight Friday into Saturday?
Thank you for specifying, my good friend. I'm talking about midnight Friday into Saturday.
Fantastic.
You know what, gentlemen? We're the Black Tower. We don't go small, we go big. That's why the big wall is so big, right?
That's right.
So here's what I want to do.
Balls are big.
Here's what I want to do. Let's do a top 3. When we tally, we'll pick the people that have the top 3 entries. No, that's an entry. All right. Sorry. Rephrase. We'll take all the entries.
Phrasing.
We'll take all the entries, and
Phrasing.
there'll be a random decision for who gets prize numero uno. That's the first edition print, and so on. Right.
Right.
The main giveaway that we're doing. Right. So that'll happen. And then what I think we should do is, so long as the person that wins is not in the next top 2 that we tally for total numbers of entries, we do a second and a third, almost place, but it's not a competition.
Honorable
thing.
mentions.
Yeah. And so for second place,
Runners up.
maybe we
like
send you a random selection from the Black Tower swag shop and something with Dragonsworn. And then for the quote-unquote third place, even though it's not third place because it's not a competition, we'll send you some Black Tower podcast merch. So
I
now
like it.
there's
I like
also an incentive to get those numbers up, because we can deal with counting. I
Those
can
are
count.
rookie numbers.
I
You gotta
can
get
I
those
can
numbers
count
up.
in tens because I got
Pump
10
those
fingers.
numbers up.
But so what do you guys think? You think that's fair? You think that'll be?
I'm down. I'm down. So Steve, we
I
all
do wish that Andrew would run things by us like this
Well,
before we go into stream.
I didn't have
but at
the
same
idea
time,
until
Daniel.
now.
I feel like
hashtag
we're so
embrace the
instinct.
taint.
I didn't have the
Yeah,
idea until
right.
now.
I'm almost never against anything he says on stream. So
I was taken
So-
by the taint and didn't think about it until now. I had a brief moment of clarity
my
in the
OCD
madness.
type anus hates it, but at the
So
same
there's-
time,
So there's 3 ways to win. 1,
there's 3 ways to win.
every entry
There's a
will
3-way?
be put into a virtual raffle, and a winner will be randomly selected. Okay? So 2, second way to win. The person who puts the most, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do this because that is a dirty sign in some places of the world. 2, that's a dirty sign. What do you do?
It's almost
2,
offensive.
1, 2. This is 2. Second way to win,
Ew.
and the third way to win is to
Third way.
have a whole lot of entries. So if you have 1,000 entries and someone else has 900 entries, you will win, and that person will win if you did not already win the random. Is that clear enough?
So you
we
get
got
something
the
for your
first
effort.
way to win is to go ahead and do the one thing. The second way to win is the other thing, and then the
Is
third way to win.
Other thing.
The
3
third way to
ways.
win.
Why do we give you 3 ways to win? Because we love you.
And because Rand had 3 wives.
And
Why not?
Still currently
We're talking-
does.
We're talking about Avienda right now, so. Oh shit! Spoiler.
Dude, well done, sir. Well done. I love it. Also, that was a spoiler that Andrew threw out there. Way to go, buddy.
Didn't tell you who they were though. May not be who you expect.
May not.
You got a Raffo.
Yeah.
Raffo.
Or Waffo until I fuck up again. Either way.
So
Laffo to the
there's
podcast.
the first two subjects. We've covered Steve. We've covered hashtag
No.
Stevesworn.
Steve has covered us.
Steve covers us. And now we have our third subject. Daniel, do you want to lead us in to the third subject?
I mean, I would absolutely love to lead us into the third topic, Josh, but I didn't get a script for this episode, so I don't know what the third topic is.
On an episode, it's a live stream. It's all
topic
off the cuff.
Is hashtag Gathering Madness.
Oh, okay.
So, Daniel,
all
why
right.
don't you run us through what we currently have planned and all that for the Gathering of Madness?
Before we do that real quick, I do want to go ahead and remind everyone that please take everything that we say now with a grain of salt. There are things going on in the world that are out of our control, and our first priority is to have people safe. If this means that we cannot do what we want to do, then unfortunately we will not be like people who are bad and stupid and protesting for bad reasons, trying to get sick, because that's unsafe. And we don't want that. While we don't believe everything we hear, also typically believe healthcare professionals, and they've told us certain things.
This is accurate. Okay, these are accurate things.
However, that being said, and that truly being meant and felt by everyone here at the Black Tower, we have exciting stuff going on. A year and a half ago, a little over a year and a half ago, like a year and 9 months ago, the Black Tower was born out of a mutual love for the Wheel of Time and a friendship that formed between Andrew and Aaron, one of the two founders of the Black Tower. Well, the Black Tower podcast, not the Black Tower itself. That'd be tight. But then a year after that, once Josh and I were on the podcast, we all happened to get together in October for the 1 year anniversary of the podcast in Los Angeles, which is where Daniel lives. And it was fantastic. It was super fun. It was relatively impromptu, and it was definitely just a way for us to see each other, which was fantastic.
It was a fun video too. So if you go on our YouTube, check out that video. We did actually post it there.
Indeed, and we did have a number of fun things that came out of that were, you know, things like Embrace the Taint and a number of other inside jokes and whatnot that then, you know, made it onto the podcast and whatnot. But in the end, that was a little small for us. That was a little yes, the hot sauce. That was a little you know, we've outgrown that kind of thing. And so this year, for the 2 year anniversary of the podcast, and Josh and I being on longer than a year,
which is awesome. Let me just throw that out there. I've enjoyed every second.
Despite my best efforts, they survived. Survive. No, I love having these guys around.
The 2 year anniversary, we are planning on getting together as a fandom, as a podcast, as a number of just nerds who would like to see each other and talk in Ogden, Utah, for what we are calling the Gathering Madness. It's going to be, you know, a relatively small get together of people, or at least, sorry, the plan is to not have it like, you know, be convention status or even something on the level of JordanCon. But we are hoping that anyone and everyone who would like to come is there. Whether that means that we have a small get together of 5 people and, you know, us and our families, or it's 400 people and it's, you know, a ton of different personalities and fun and enjoyment and whatnot. We want everyone who can possibly and who has interest coming to this to come on down. It's going to be the weekend of October 16th through the 18th. The festivities are mostly going to be on that Saturday, which is the 17th. But we do have something planned for, evening time on Friday, as well as sort of like, brunch to afternoon, evening time on Sunday. Those are definitely a little bit more up in the air. It'll absolutely depend a lot on how many people would like to attend those. But for Saturday, we have a ton of fun activities planned, including things like, Wheel of Time drinks. That we are going to, help judge and have a competition with as far as Wheel of Time bartending. We will also be having different competitions like, practice swords and bow and archery and whatnot. Anyone who's interested in those kinds of things. We're going to have physical, we're going to have mental, we're going to have, emotional. You're going to come, you're going to cry, you're going to laugh. It's going to be enjoyable. I didn't mean the first one to be dirty, but it ended up being dirty anyway.
Nope, you're good, man.
We're gonna beat each other with our swords.
You're gonna.
There's gonna be fun.
You're gonna enjoy.
Yes, we're gonna have some fun there.
I cried. It moved me, Bob.
But wait,
there's gonna be
Josh,
some other people.
How expensive is this gonna be? I mean, I've already got to fly or drive to Ogden, Utah. I've got to get a hotel and a place to stay. Like, I really can't afford something that's gonna cost an arm and a leg and a taint.
Well, I'll tell you what. You can attend for $0 a ticket. How does that sound?
There you guys go. It is a Wheel of Time event that is celebrating anniversaries. It just happens to be, well, I mean, that's why that I'm not going to say just happens. We planned it for that weekend because it's our anniversary weekend.
It's true.
We took that liberty, but it is free. It is Wheel of Time 100% oriented. Doesn't mean that there won't possibly be things that aren't 100% Wheel of Time, but it's Wheel of Time oriented. I mean, your Tainty Boys got to have the wheel there. We got to have the Wheel of Steve. And I had to make Daniel sigh one last time. And it's not on essentially the East Coast. You know, this is pretty West Coast. I mean, it's like 5 steps
west.
It's 5 steps away from getting your feet wet in the Pacific Ocean. Which make a yeah, it is. I'm pretty sure you can take 5 steps from Ogden and be on the beach in California. I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
Have you been playing too much
in the world of dreams?
If Andril is there to weave a gateway, then yes, that is accurate.
Or you go in the world of dreams. Just Teleron Riot and 5 steps and you're at the Pacific Ocean.
Why do you even need to take 5 steps? Just imagine yourself at the Pacific Ocean.
Okay, we're going with parents. Spoiler warning.
Wow, just Andrew's gonna spoil.
Son of a Andrew, dude, that's.
I just said somebody. I just said somebody's name. That doesn't mean he did it intentionally.
And you're off the show.
A week off the show sounds like vacation. Have fun editing, especially whenever Scarlett Joe Brokeson breaks. Huh?
I can do it again. So no, that's it, guys. I mean, that's it. Those are the 3 topics right there. Okay.
Indeed.
That's why we're here. We are
one for each of us.
Yeah. It's like it's 3s. We're working in 3s. So we started with Steve.
It's a magic number.
Steve is the man. Even
the
though
myth.
Daniel is over Steve.
The legend.
And then we've moved on to Dragonsworn. #Dragonsworn giveaway. Giving you amazing things.
Get yourself some free shit.
Give away now.
Oh, well done, sir. Well done.
You know what?
And final subject
Gathering Madness.
is #Gathering Madness. So be sure to look at #Gathering Madness on Twitter or on Instagram, because you got to follow us on Instagram too. And make sure that you follow along for updates concerning that event. No, you have to.
No, you don't.
We've compulsion on you.
At the Black Tower. You do what you want.
I've already weaved compulsion on them.
Every single taint that you put your finger in, and we'll enjoy it.
What
Since
have I
there's no
done?
your
The
finger
What have
only
I
thing
become?
left- The only
But-
thing left is to ask
Also,
you, the viewers, do you have any final questions? Is there anything you would like to know? Now you can follow the hashtag AskAnAshaman.
questions.
What?
I said, call the number on your screen if you'd like to ask us any questions.
Call the number on your screen.
The number is 867-5-309.
What was it like on Little Rascals when he's like, I need your social security number? And he's like, 6? 6? 7? But I'm just waiting. I just want people to ask a question, because if we don't ask any questions, we call it a night and let people maybe their minds are blown. Maybe they've already like succumbed to the madness. Maybe it's done. Maybe they're just like, I'm so happy with what is happening right now that I can't even process the rest.
And it could be about anything. This is a very limited
Forum.
AAA. Ask Ashaman anything,
Ooh, I like it.
because at the event,
I mean, to be fair,
we're gonna do an AMA.
Ask an Ashaman already, but
Yeah, oh yeah, that's true. Because at the event, in the after hours part, we are gonna do an AMA or an AUA, I guess. Ask us
It's
anything.
true. It's true.
We already have the hashtag Ask an Ashaman, or Ask an Ashaman on Twitter. So
So we do have a question from Malkier Talks, and he asks if he should spam Daniel's Twitter account with Steve tweets and memes. And I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say absolutely 100%. Please do that.
I'm just gonna say the Steve Wills as the Steve Wills.
whatever. I'm so desperate to get in contact at this point that I'll just take what I can get.
You guys, Daniel's in LA and is starving for interaction. So
It's true.
Yes.
Because everything here is closed or dangerous.
you could also watch his Twitch stream where he plays really weird games.
I was about to ask that, Daniel. Are you streaming tonight or?
It's a
Are
weird.
you streaming tonight? Are you streaming
Oh,
tonight?
we take Fridays and Saturdays off, and Wednesdays off.
Of course.
Because we
The
record
night
on
we try to
Wednesdays,
plug you.
and my
Cool.
roommates are home on Fridays and Saturdays. And so we try not to be dicks about going ahead and streaming in our living room, and taking up all of the space. That being said, if you would like to come on by for on Sunday through Tuesday, and then also on Thursday at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's super funny, or it's super fun. We're in the middle of a playthrough of Persona 5, so if you like that game, then you get to enjoy that. And the name that you would be looking up on Twitch would be Rusty Armor, because it's actually my roommate's channel that we've been doing together ever since we started streaming when he moved in like 6 months ago.
And if you want to get alerts that aren't just the automatic Twitter alerts that just any old plebeian can get, make sure that you join us over in the Black Tower Podcast Discord, because when Daniel goes live, there's a special channel
called Don't
literally
Cross the Streams.
that literally hashtag Don't Cross the Streams,
Get it?
where he posts the link when they're going live, and you can go and you can watch them. And if you find it enjoying and hilarious, give them a follow.
As I do.
Go and watch it. It's great. It's even on the nights where I can't sleep and it's like 11, 12 o'clock for me Eastern and they're streaming. It's a great way to pass the time until I either get tired or whatever happens.
Accurate.
So we got another
I appreciate
question.
that, Vince, and I've appreciated you guys on. But we did actually get another question.
Hit it
in
up, Daniel.
chat that I would like to go ahead and answer, because I think it's a super important question that everyone kind of needs to know the answer to.
It's a
And that
fundamental
is-
question for Wheel of Time.
what is everyone's drink of choice? Now, I do have I have a follow up to that, or not a follow up, but a response to that. Are we talking just in general as far as like types? Are we talking what's your favorite cocktail? Are we talking what's your favorite beer? I'm guessing it's everything, in which case we've already started answering it. But Josh, do you want to give voice to what you were just showing everyone?
My standby, guys. I'm a Sailor Jerry man. I really do. I love Sailor Jerry. I was a Captain Morgan guy for a while, and Sailor Jerry just has that.
And cheaper, but not as good as it could be.
Got a new bottle too. For not the handle.
Yeah, they do
but...
have a new bottle. Yeah. So this one I got, like 2 days ago. So I might not have gotten the new bottle.
Not for those large. It's for the smaller bottles. The 2-day serving bottles.
Days.
So to be completely honest, I will admit that Sailor Jerry is also my drink of choice. I will absolutely also say that a lot of what you see me drinking on stream is actually the Kirkland rum because it's so cheap. From Costco. And so it is a giant fucking bottle of rum, and it's like not even $15, and you're just like, hell yeah. So that is usually what I'm drinking. But if I get the choice, my answer absolutely is Sailor Jerry and cherry vanilla Dr. Pepper.
Ooh,
that's good.
I might have to try that.
You have to. If nothing else, Gathering Madness, whether it's just us three or everybody that can be there, yeah,
it's true.
All right,
there
so
Moss Sailor Jerry consumed at the Gathering Madness.
Yeah,
indeed.
So my turn, and I'm going to take liberty with my turn to some extent. Magic in the Blood. I saw you in the chat. Thank you for coming by. That's definitely a name I recognize, and I'm sure you guys do too.
That was Moradin's maiden that I was telling you about. That was talking to Daryl McCormick, and who
is that? Magic in the Blood?
Yes, that's her.
I am so bad at remembering stuff and making connections.
Her wiles and pulled that answer out of him.
Well, bully to you, Magic in the Blood. Oh, fantastic.
She's badass.
And then, of course,
me all the bacon and eggs you
have. Way of the Leaf, fantastic people, fantastic podcast. Go give them a follow, download all the episodes, listen to all the things, hit all the like buttons.
Except fantastic for episode 6. Episode 6 is a little bit of a dud, but literally every other episode.
We all have our own opinions, okay, Daniel?
We all have our own
like episode 6.
Hey,
I will fight you.
It's a free world. Everybody's free to be wrong. So drink of choice. That's a bit of a complicated question for me. So if I'm drinking liquor and I'm willing to mix it, also known as I have something to mix it with, be it Coke or Dr. Pepper, I also go with the Sailor Jerry's rum. That's been a long-standing favorite of mine. I was also a Captain Morgan guy for a while, but Sailor Jerry's is my favorite rum for mixing. When it comes to drinking things neat, or as others may say, straight with no ice, something that you just grab off the counter or you're out of your beer cabinet. I'm not that fancy. I just grab it off the top of the shelf of the fridge. Not the back of the fridge, because that's where it gets hot. I am a absolute 100% charlatan for a Glenfiddich 12-year-old Scotch whiskey blend. If you bring me to that neat, we might be married within 5 minutes.
Andrew, I'm going to tell you this right now, that I do have some Glenfiddich 18-year in my cabinet right meow.
I've had the 18-year and I've had the 24-year. And I've had a couple other the same company blends. but the 12-year just seems to be just right there for me. No, don't get me wrong. I don't dislike the 18 or the 24. But for me, the 12-year,
Okay.
it hits that sweet point. I will still drink the shit out of 18-year.
Okay.
But 12-year is my absolute favorite.
My thing is, I was gonna say at the Gathering Madness we could, you know,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
my water is yours.
Oh yeah. I am
Water and shade.
100% down.
My taint is yours.
Oh, my taint is yours.
I will.
But,
I will happily put my taint in your mouth.
I appreciate that. It's always nice to meet a very sharing, very kind host.
And this is one of those moments where the Black Tower just kind of has to stand together, and I have to go with this.
Just embrace the taint, quite literally.
Everybody.
But when it comes
Thank
to beer,
you so
though,
much, everybody.
when it comes to beer, my absolute favorite is Yingling. Let's see, what else do we have here? Have any of us ever watched any Aussie Rules football?
What?
Because
I have no idea what you.
Hetsky, he's talking about how he's listening to us and he's gonna go and listen to the Avienda episode we did, and then in about 3 hours he's watching his football team play. Now, is it safe to assume that in Australia, when you say football, you mean like British football, what we would call soccer? I think so. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure how they do it in Australia.
I guarantee
football is actually its own thing.
Yeah, rugby.
Oh, is it? Oh. I don't think they call it football. I think they call it rugby. But when I was still in the military, from the end of 2015 into like May of 2016, where I deployed, we had a lot of Aussies with us. Fantastic guys. Made the deployment.
I'm glad that you think they're awesome, and you can definitely continue to praise them. But Australian rules football is absolutely its own thing. It's not actually rugby either.
Oh, I believe it. I 100% believe it. I'm sure that at some point I have watched it to some extent, but I can't say I remember. So maybe I didn't watch it because it sounds like something I remember if I watched. But there we go. We'll fastball through this last question from Way of the Leaf because we do need to wrap this up. We allotted an hour and a half and we're almost at that. So the last question, this is from the Way of the Leaf, says, what are you guys using to live stream right now? We are using the stream key from YouTube through OBS on my computer, actually. So
that's true.
And then what we're using to get each other connected into OBS is VC Player.
Yep.
VC.
It's like VCR, but more relevant.
And then, of course, there is always the taint.
Just FYI, guys, that had nothing to do with what we were talking about. Josh just got a new mixer and is like jonesing for reasons to use it.
I didn't get a new one.
What is it now?
It's been mine all along.
Your Scarlett soundboard broke, so now you're using a 7-channel mixer?
It did.
Oh, heavens, Scarlett.
Yeah.
It broke.
So for those of you that have already listened to our last episode and wondering what was it that broke, Scarlett Joe Brokeson on Josh's part. It broke. It failed.
Scarlett Mix Hansen.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Broke on
so
stream.
Now he's got his 7-input capable soundboard mixer thingamajig. So yeah. So he is using that for his audio and stuff. VC is what we're using.
So I don't want to throw any shade because this served me well for several years. But mid recording session, it died. It was like, no, fuck you, don't want to work no more. And I'm looking at it, and the lights are still on, but it was like, I'll turn lights on. That's it. That's the best.
'Twas but a farce.
The lights may be on, but there's no one home.
There was definitely no one home. But yeah, So now I got a new. I own your soul.
Yeah, guys, he's trying to tell you that his mixer now has reverb on it.
I have all the things now. Just
That's
wait,
what
we
he's
got
trying
some
to tell you.
crazy shit coming. So,
But yeah,
thank you for tuning in. Thank you for
Indeed.
your questions. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for your awesomeness. Thank you for your participation. And thank you for being you. As you know, the Black Tower stands for awesomeness. We stand for unity. We stand for all things Wheel of Time. We're happy to have you here. We're happy to be here. And we're happy to interact with you. We love you. We respect you. And we think you're downright awesome. And thank you.
Agreed. Could
And
not
this
have
one's
said it better
to you.
myself.
you'll have a good one. Be safe. Take care of
Indeed.
yourselves. And as Daniel always says,
Good,
Say it,
good
Daniel.
evening, everybody.
Say the line.
And in case
Say
we
the
don't
line.
see you again, I hope you have a pleasant tomorrow.
Damn it!
Just kidding, guys. Good morning, everybody. And in case we don't see you again, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.